Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking for Mr. Sims.
He'll be right back. Maybe I can help you. Sit down.
They can't do this to me.
They can't do what to you?
Look, I'm an honest man. I have always worked very hard for my money. I leased a theater. Now, just because the people who own it don't like the movies I show is no reason for them to break the lease. Now, there must be something that I can do.
That sounds to me like an infringement on your freedom. I don't think anyone can do that.
Are you sure about that?
As a matter of fact, I'm positive. And you've come to the right place for help. I'm sure Mr. Sims is aware of the state of Massachusetts versus Rowland, in which the Supreme Court ruled that anyone has the right to show whatever they want on the screen, providing the public isn't forced to see it. It's what freedom is all about. You're free to screen whatever you want, and the public has the freedom not to go see it if they don't want to. Dad! Well, this is Mr. Woolner.
Oh, yes. I know Mr. Woolner. You received the eviction notice?
Oh, yes. And this is what I think of your eviction notice.
What are you doing?
Why don't you ask this bright young man about Massachusetts versus Rowland? Thank you, young man. You're a fine lawyer. And anytime you want to come down to the Pussycat Theater, it's on the house.
You talked to him?
Yes, he was going to sign those eviction papers.
You talked him out of accepting the eviction papers?
Oh, don't thank me. You were in a meeting, and I wanted to be helpful.
Oh, you have been, Howie. I'll tell you what you've just done. In less than a minute, all by yourself, you've managed to ruin a case that's very important to me and costs me a bonus that JJ is in his office signing at this moment. You stole it from under my nose.
How could I? Massachusetts versus...
I don't give a hang about Massachusetts. Out!
Maybe we better have lunch another day. You shouldn't eat when you're excited.
Out!
I have your martini right here, dear.
Won't be good enough tonight. Is there any cyanide in the house?
What's wrong, Dad? You look like you've been hit by a truck.
Worse. I was run over by a genius.
Here, Paul, please, take a sip.
All right, but just one.
Did that help?
No, I can still remember what Hallie looks like.
Come on, dear, sit down and don't get yourself upset. You'll get an ulcer.
I have an ulcer, and it has an IQ of 185. Hallie's got to go.
Paul, what if we built them a room with a separate entrance?
Not if we build it in Japan.
I'll get it. Oh, Mr.
Sally.
McNish. Oh, hello, Mr. McNish.
Now what?
Paul, I just heard about the Woolner case. I thought I'd stop by personally and congratulate you.
Now, wait a minute. I can explain it, JJ. I just need a little time to... congratulate me?
Well, that was a brilliant stroke, sending your son-in-law down to the theater to talk to Woolner.
Yeah. Yeah, it was brilliant, all right.
When he showed Woolner this copy of Variety, Hicks, Nicks, nude pics, he convinced him that people in general are turning down pornies.
Pornos.
Get out of the room, Sally.
Well, anyway, he's decided to show nothing but family pictures in his theater from now on, so everybody's happy. I tell you, that son-in-law of yours is a genius.
Genius. Yeah, we know.
You must bring him to dinner one night soon. My wife will call you. Oh, and, Paul, here's your bonus check.
Well, thank you, JJ.
Martha, I'll see myself out. Barbara?
Daddy, you've got to stop him.
Who?
Howie. He's upstairs packing to go back in in the Navy.
The Navy? I know it'll be difficult for you, honey. But we'll help all we can.
I know you will, but I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about Howie. I think we failed him.
We failed him?
He thinks we don't want him here.
Well, I can't imagine where he ever got such an idea. Well, you go tell him it's not true.
Well, what can I tell him? That I love him? You'd have to be pretty dumb not to know that. And if there's anything Howie isn't, it's dumb. You're the one who has to tell him you want him to stay.
Me?
She's right.
But what do I say to him?
You'll think of something. You're awfully smart when you want to be.
Mr. Sims, would you store this for me? I won't be needing it in the Navy.
Howie, I've been doing a great deal of thinking, and I've got something to say to you.
Go ahead, Daddy.
Well, Howie,
Howie, what Paul means is that he's sorry he lost his temper, and he's begging you to stay.
I'm asking. The truth is, we wouldn't dream of letting you leave. Howie, we need you more than the Navy does.
You need me?
Of course, you're part of the family, even if you are an eccentric. You're the type of irritant who produces progress in our world.
And havoc in our homes. I'm a pretty sad excuse for a son-in-law.
I wouldn't have anyone else in the world.
Howie, we've never had a son. You're gonna be it.
Do you mean that, Mr. Sims?
Dad.
Dad!
Now, you go upstairs and unpack that suitcase.
Barbara!
Oh, thanks, Daddy.
Oh, I'm proud of you. You handled that like a real father.
Well, the boy's got good stuff, Annie. We'll help them find a nice apartment of their own tomorrow. And I am going to have him come down to the office and have lunch with me. We'll have him to dinner here once a month. Hello. Oh, hello, Joe. What? Joe's calling to thank me for sending Howie to him. I told you he'd be an asset to your organization. Howie's only been on the job one day, and he's come up with a reorganization plan that the board of directors thinks is brilliant.
That's your son-in-law.
That's my son-in-law. What? What? Hello, Joe? He hung up on me.
Why?
Howie made up a list of people in the office who could be replaced by computers. Joe Robinson's name was at the head of the list. And do you know whose name he put second? His own. He's fired.
Well, he'll just have to stay here with us until he finds another
Oh,
job.
no, that could be years. Howie could be living with us for years. And Martha, he's got that fertility symbol up there. He wants babies. I can see him all growing up around me.